going to do it with that. Okay, so we're not going to be able to see ourselves.
That's weird. Maybe because it's sideways.
I did it sideways before. Look how little that is. That's hilarious.
Let's see how we look on here.
But I don't see anybody. So there wasn't a whole pile of prep work here. Oh no, I don't know how to fix it. You know what? We're going to do it anyway. I can see like a little tiny... You can see it on your phone.
Thanks. That's how we look.
Oh, there we go.
We have 4 people.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. This is Over the Edge. I'm Mickey Hughes. I'm here with Todd Genno, who is the powwow MC, keynote speaker, dad, hat wearer.
Yeah, anything pretty much. Pay me something enough, I'll do it.
There we go. That's that's the ticket. Oh, it's because it's so far back. Okay, I just got this right now.
Okay.
All right, and this is the first time I've done it this way. I've got TikTok running live and Facebook live. So afterwards, we'll probably do like a Q&A.
Yeah, if there's any.
If there's any.
But first, I want everybody to wish Mickey a happy 25th birthday. It's her 25th birthday today. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. I just tell people I look like shit for 27. I look amazing for 50. I guess.
Yeah, 55 I think. Yeah, you are.
Thank you. 44. So that was it, everybody. Thank you for coming by.
That was a good show.
It was a really good show. Thank you. So, we got lots of people coming in. Okay, so we have 21 people. Do something entertaining.
Oh, do you want to play pickleball?
Pickleball. I googled what pickleball
I don't know,
was.
same here.
I still don't know.
I think it's more geared towards like seniors. It's like a mix of badminton
but nothing to do with pickles.
No, I don't know who named pickle.
Is it? I thought it was playing with... Oh, I guess I was thinking of like...
But I guess a lot of senior citizens play. So I guess you could join next year.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. This is good, Todd Genno.
All right.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we need to be entertaining now because people are coming in and they're leaving. So for TikTok, if you are sending any gifts, I can't cash out on Canadian. It would be very difficult. What I'll do is I'll leave anything to a charity of Todd's choice.
Somewhere. I don't know what charities.
We'll,
Anyone but Donald Trump
or because there's people in the rooms. Okay, so this is actually just a recording. This will be cut down later. Control Media will turn it into a podcast and then just take out all of like the blah 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 stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the 55-year-old thing.
That's right. Oh, he'll probably do it twice. He'll be the intro and it will be the outro. And it's a podcast actually about anxiety, which really, we're going into our second lockdown. When I had the concept of Over the Edge, I just thought it was kind of funny, kind of catchy, and I tend to get Octobered. So, but this really seems to be a really good theme right now. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Can you tell me what your experience is with?
Oh, with the lockdown?
How are you handling it?
I'm pretty much alone all the time anyway, so it's pretty much a normal day. But I don't know. It's hard seeing everyone else struggle. Like I'm okay, I think. Yeah. Where I see other people, they're struggling a lot harder.
What have you like? What's a specific maybe?
Like
if you're comfortable talking about that.
Like I know that a lot of my friends that are going through like recovery and addictions, and as soon as that everything got shut, like the meetings and the healing circles and stuff, it's like they struggled without that. And
I have some friends that have done some online stuff, but that's still not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like Ron does his healing circles on Zoom, and he still does them every Mondays at 7. And I haven't been for a while. They'll go because they're looking for that connection and seeking healing.
I've been watching that too. So that's Ron Kaninsky. He's Thunder Bay's King of Comedy. He won Comic Idol, and Todd as well won Comic Idol, and I won, and that's how we've all become friends.
Yeah, like a lifetime ago I won that now.
How long ago was that?
2012 I won Comic Idol.
Todd was too cheap to pay for admission to Comic Idol, so he joined instead of paying the $20, and you just got up on stage and you went.
Well, yeah, because stand-up comedy was always something I loved doing, or loved watching, especially and And when Ron did it, my friend Ron, he won it, I think, 2 years before me. So then after 2 years, they brought him back to headline Comic Idol. So I wanted to see that, to support my friend. And I thought, what the hell, I'm going to try it. Because I've always wanted to do it. And because you have to put your 5 minutes together.
Yeah.
So I wrote down a big shitload of jokes. And I read it out loud to myself. And it was 15 minutes. I'm like, crap. So I had to cut down a lot of stuff. And so my very first time doing stand-up comedy was at Comic Idol in front of 500 people.
And you won that.
And I won.
That's amazing.
Thanks to Ryan Babcock getting shit-faced drunk.
Imagine these local people too. Did Ryan Babcock, he won?
No.
Ryan,
No, but he was in the competition. And he doesn't remember nothing from that night.
Oh, no. I've seen him a couple of times. I don't know
Yeah.
if he would remember those either. I hope, Ryan Babcock, are you here?
But
He's getting no pickles.
Because you're in the back room and I'm eyeing everybody up. I'm like, okay, I could beat this person. But Ryan, I was worried about. But they put him last. And he had too much beers. Yeah. And I won.
Were you buying him?
No, not. No. But, yeah, and I ended up winning. And then I thought that was going to be it. I just wanted to try it. Bucket list check. Yeah. And then after that, I won. This lady came to see me after the show. And she says, we're having like a comedy thing tomorrow night at Cheers. And that's on Frederica. And it used to be Cheers. Yeah. And that was Krista Becker. Another Comic Idol winner
Krista
eventually.
Becker.
Yeah, she came up to me after the show and she says, you want to come do a comedy at this bar? And but I went along because Ron was going, so I jumped in with Ron, and I wasn't going to perform, but I just ended up tagging along, and all the heavy hitters were there, like Lee Noyes, Chris Holland, Ron,
yeah,
and even Malowishan, he was there, and Ryan Babcock, he was there. He was sober that night.
Also, so you actually go back with the comedy scene, like actually pretty far back.
Yeah. So then I seen the first few guys go up, and the laughter they were getting, and once you get that first laughter, it's addicting. You want more. Yeah, it's very addicting.
As a recovering alcoholic, the first time I got on stage, and I was terrified. You could hear like a pin drop, and I even heard somebody say, "She's terrified." Yeah. And then I started talking, and as soon as I got that laugh, and when I got off the stage, I was like, I'm gonna be chasing that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. But even though you get like the whole crowd laughing, if you see that one person in the crowd not laughing, you think there's something wrong with you. I'm not funny.
That's because of who we are as individuals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened to me that night at Cheers. That was packed full of people, and they were laughing hard. But there was 2 old people sitting right in the front.
Those sons.
And they did not laugh. And they sat through the whole show. Nobody can make them laugh. It was crazy. But what happened after the show, then they come up and they shook our hands and they said, that was a really funny show. So I just come to terms that some people just don't laugh.
They just don't. I don't ha laugh. Yeah. Nobody wants to be looking at me in an audience because I acknowledge I always write LOL. I'm never actually laughing out loud. Yeah. It's just, that's just what I do. I mean, if a comedian looks at me, I'll laugh. You know? You're so great.
So, and then since then, I've just been going all over doing shows and stuff like that.
You're kind of a big tours.
Not really. Unless you call like Nipigon a tour. Nipigon, I've done Sioux Lookout.
The Great North. That's
I always say that when
and Kekabeka and you con me.
That's what a good friend said after I won Comic Idol. He says comedy will take you places you've never been before. So I got to go to Sioux Lookout. I've never ever been there. Yeah. Big city of Sioux Lookout.
What's the biggest city you've performed in?
Thunder Bay. I don't.
You've been to Winnipeg?
Well, I guess having kids too. I can't travel as much as I would love to, but yeah. But I'm glad I made that decision to look after my kids too, because now they're getting old and I have a lot of time to travel. If we ever get to travel again. Yeah.
It's going to be a little while. I didn't have kids, so I could travel. Now I can't travel, and everything sucks. Yeah. Don't know what I tell people when they ask me if I have any kids, because they used to bother me. I say not anymore. Oh. And then they stop about it. I wish I would have figured that when I was.
Yeah, because that's a kind of a touchy subject for some people. Any kids anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and that's sort of funny having like the whole comedy and anxiety and depression and all that sort of rolled into one. You can accidentally trip into something painful.
Yeah, and we gotta be more mindful when we ask people. Like, we can't just assume people have kids.
I know.
Yeah.
We're like, don't let the hips fool you. I have no children. So are you
Yeah.
homeschooling them?
No, they're going to school.
They're
going to school. They didn't do well with the homeschooling. Their whole sleep schedule got thrown off. Like they were up all night and sleep all day kind of. And I always used to be hard on my son. He's 12 years old, about always being on that damn PlayStation with the headphones and talking to his friends.
Yeah.
But during that lockdown, I was so grateful for that because he was able to keep in contact with his friends, and he has good friends. So you always want to keep that.
Yeah, if it wasn't for social media during the lockdown, because I have my tenant downstairs and it's just me.
Yeah.
Right. It would have just been.
Yeah. How did they do it in the 1990s with the or 1900s?
Oh, I don't know. I clearly didn't have my family. We just kept everything alive with yelling. But
yeah. But I think, how did they, when that Spanish flu came through back in 1900s?
Yeah.
I have something today that they never had back then, and that's the how we send out information. They never had social media back then, but now Justin Trudeau does a conference. Everybody knows about it in 5 minutes.
That's true. But that's also why our second wave is big, and that's where we mirror the Spanish flu, because during the Spanish flu they were like, yeah, well, with the plague they didn't know, they didn't have our communication. They didn't have, that everybody thinks that they're one step ahead. So we knew that the second wave was coming, and so yeah. You
know what I told the comedy gods? Because I said, if you ever allow me back on stage again, I swear I'm not going to make any jokes about COVID or Corona.
And here you are.
Well, yeah, but we're not on a stage.
Look what we've been reduced to. We're doing
Facebook Live shows.
Where we're talking about anxiety.
Yeah.
You can cry. It's okay. We're in a safe space here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do. So you speak with people who are early recovery for addictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I don't know how I got into that, but now that I think of it, because I grew up in the foster care system, so I had to be taken away from my parents because of their addiction. So now that I'm older and I realize stuff, I think maybe I help those people because it's almost like I was helping my mom. And so I always want these people to do well because I never got that chance. I met my mom a year before she passed away, finally.
Yeah.
It took a long time. And I was even kind of sad. Well, I grew up in foster care. How come nobody ever tried to get me to contact with my mother? So I was mad at the world for like 10 minutes, and then I calmed down.
So you're just like, that's, I mean, like still deep.
Yeah.
Like you've been through, you were bounced around in, like how many foster homes?
I just know 15 I could think of off the top of my head. And I know that's a small number too, compared to a lot of kids out there, even today. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah, so you did the whole foster care system, but you've never got into drugs and alcohol.
No, I never drank. I never did. I smoked weed once when I was 16, and it resulted standing in the snowbank, bare feet, puking my guts out, and I said never again.
That was yesterday. That was with me.
That was my rock bottom.
Oh.
Most people got to lose their family, lose their wife, and stuff like that. Not me. I puke. That's it.
Really? Oh, that's just like mine, almost. No, I'm just kidding. Mine was a catastrophe. Yeah. Rock bottom has a basement. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you had just decided. You decided that you just wanted to help people, or
yeah, it was just kind of. That's what I felt good doing, was trying to help people, and when I try to help people, I always explain like I've never been drunk in my life, and I talked about the one time I got high, but that does not make me any better than you. Like, because if somebody's been sober 1 day, 10 days, 10 years, they're more powerful than me because I have no idea what it's like to go through that.
It's amazing that you just get it. And speaking, from somebody that's been to rehab, I would be annoyed with anybody that tried to counsel me that hadn't been there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't been there, then who are you to tell? Like, because you have an education, because you read the way I'm supposed to be stereotypically. Somehow you're able to just sort of tune into that, and people are drawn to you because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I've seen the power that it has over people. So even though I haven't experienced it personally, like I've
Do you have an
seen
example of?
I've buried friends, and that's never a fun thing to do because of drugs and alcohol, and it happens all the time. It's intervening, and back home, it's like
People just die.
yeah, it's like, but we can't give up on people either. We got to keep trying.
Yeah. Or do you find that it's busier now with work because of everything, or is it still just kind of the same? Do they?
It's I don't know. Yeah, I for me, like, cause I don't actually like work. I just love helping. Like Ron, I try to help him as much as I can.
Yeah.
And
Ron Knitsky, who is the warm center of the universe, by the way, he's so why do like these comedians that have like turned to, you know, either sort of one way or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ron is incredibly grounded.
But even having that gift to give laughter to people, that's a huge gift. Laughter is so important, especially like with their depression. It actually helps people with depression.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you can just go home and Google laughter is best medicine. You'll see all the good benefits that it happens. Like,
absolutely. Have you ever been depressed, or you just find that you're?
I think I have. I've never actually got help.
Well,
I think I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah. There was one time when I was growing up in care. Is it like
Sorry, and I'm only asking because you're so level, because you're so grounded. Like, it's a genuine curiosity. Like, how do you hold that? How do you maintain that? And what would you tell somebody or give advice to somebody to be able to demeanor through like atrocity? Because you've been through your shit too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And I think everybody's. If you tell me somebody that's never been through shit, I'll show you a bullshitter.
Yeah.
Everybody's. So I'm very open about my healing and my sharing because I want to encourage people that and everyone has a story.
Yeah, and it's not, I'm a woman who, she got really drunk at a party and spilled wine everywhere. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic. That was her. Like, but who's to say that her embarrassment of spilling wine at a party and ending up going into recovery, saying that she's, admitting that she's an alcoholic, who that to say that that's not as, catastrophic as, somebody else actually needing to, go into a vehicle with lights on it and have their life entirely fall apart. Like, there's also different, it's not a competition, it's not a race, we're all at different levels. Yeah. And it's cool that you understand those different levels.
Yeah. And I went to treatment a couple years ago for grief and abandonment issues, And when I got there, I was with a group of people, and we had to talk about our traumas, obviously. And
so was this like did you go there? Like, was it a day thing?
We went there for 10 days.
Okay.
And you're with another group of people, strangers you don't know, so you get to connect with them and heal with them, and it's pretty neat. But I went there because I had to deal with stuff that was huge for me. But now when I start listening to other people's stories, I'm like, fuck, mine is minor. Like, yeah, like I got separated from my wife, and then told me, she says, don't compare pain. Pain is pain. Mm-hmm. So don't compare that. And then, so ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I am important too. Like, my pain's important too.
Yeah.
It's not any less important than anybody else's.
And the grief, I find that the grief comes out. I can handle like the big things, it feels like, right? I can just knock them off, but then all of a sudden I'll hit a glass and it'll fall on the floor and it will break, and I'll be in tears for, 15 minutes over that. And I'll be like, wait, that was a glass, you just saved your dog out from running on the road. This happened. All these, actual things happen, and then I'll let the smaller things. So maybe you're identifying. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm important.
Yeah. It's important no matter. Like I said, we all have a story. We all have pain. But it's just how we, I guess. Yeah. We can bury it in booze and drugs, or...
Yeah. I did that.
Yeah.
Guess what? It doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was about 13, like I said, growing up in care, in our way we believe things or understand things, in our spirituality, especially when we're born, we just can't. spirit world, or we call it, or other people might know it as heaven. And then we complete a whole life circle, and then when we get old, we go back to that spirit world, and it's where we're closer to our higher power, or I call them the creator or spirit. So when we're born, we're close to that great spirit, but as we get older, as teenagers, we start to feel that separation from our great spirit.
Did that happen to you? You feel?
Yeah, because around 13, that's why 13, our teenage years are always a hard years on us, because we start to feel that disconnect. We get confused and
I slept through a lot of them, but yeah, I just thought it was because our bodies are changing and
yeah. We got hair that never been hair before.
Yeah, there wasn't. You don't call them no zones anymore. Like, just everything's different now. Yeah.
So when I was about 12 or 13, I struggled, and I wanted to die. I didn't know how I wanted to die. I just knew I didn't want to be on this earth no more. Of course, because you bounce around from foster home to foster home too. Like, where the hell do you belong? Where does a kid belong if you're bouncing all over the place? And so I was thinking about this one day, but I didn't know how I was gonna do it. But I know one day I just wanted to die, and I was in the backyard thinking about this, and this old man pulled up in my driveway. He's passed on now, but I got really close to this old man growing up, and he pulled in my driveway, and he asked me to come to his house later on tonight, where he's gonna be having a sweat lodge ceremony, and he wanted me to help him with the fire, and I guess a sweat lodge ceremony is like just a ceremony where we go cleanse and we pray to our higher spirit, kind of thing. It's almost like a dome.
I was gonna say, is that? Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's like a dome. It actually represents like the womb of Mother Earth.
Oh.
So if you see the shape of it, it's a dome. And when you look at a pregnant woman, or you look at me, there's a dome.
I'm a spiritual sanctuary. If it's what this is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But when we go into that ceremony, it's like we're going back, because we're not in there to suffer and get real hot and burn to hell, kind of thing. Like, but it gets warm enough, so it brings us back to a time when we were in our mother's womb, where we were safe, we were comfortable, and we were warm, and then we sweat off any bad.
Are you spending this time, like you're sitting in there, like, are you meditating? Is
yeah,
there a teacher
we
that
pray,
talks?
we sing. Yeah, there's a guy that runs it, who I was talking about.
Elders.
Yeah, he kind of runs it, and yeah, we sing songs and we pray in there, and so he asked me to come down that Friday. And so I did. And
he has the sweats every Friday. So do I, but it's totally different. Yeah. No,
yeah.
So.
But he and he always had a lot of people show up, because a lot of people were sobering up in our community.
How big is the dome?
About the size of this room.
Okay.
Let's turn the camera around. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Let's give everybody a view.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Don't show off your home improvement.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always had lots of people show up, but for some reason that day nobody showed up, and it was just me and this old man.
For some reason, there's a reason.
Yeah. So he says he told me to bring in all the rocks. That's what we do. We heat up the rocks in the fire.
What kind of rocks, right?
Like I don't know, just stones.
Sorry, what did he call them? Elder rocks?
Grandfathers. We call them grandfathers because everything has a spirit. So those rocks, we believe are powerful because they've been around for thousands and millions of years. So they carry lots of knowledge with them. Oh. So then we heat them up in the fire and we bring them inside. So it's just like a sauna. And we pour medicine on it, like water. Yeah. And then, so it was just me and him in that sweat lodge that day. And he talked, this old man, he knew things. He was very gifted. He could just sit with you. He was actually deaf. You had to like yell at him to talk to him. So nobody really talked to him because everyone felt bad for yelling at him. But he would just sit there and he would just start talking about your life. And he freaked people out all the time. And people asked him, like, how do you do that? And he says, it's not me. He says, if it was me, I'd be a millionaire. He said, it's just the creator that works through me to give messages to people.
That was it? Sorry, was it that day that he said come, and then on the Friday, and then it was just you and him that day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in while we were in there, he told me, he says, when we're born with a few things. Creator just didn't just put you on this earth for nothing. He says, when you're born, you have a name, you have a clan where you belong to, and one of the most important things people have in their life, everybody, is a purpose. Everyone has a purpose, and some people will spend their whole lives trying to figure out what their purpose is, and some will know right away. But he says, your purpose. He says you're a singer. You're gonna help people with your gift of voice. That's what he told me.
I have never heard you sing.
No.
When would I have heard you?
No.
Sorry, I didn't know that. I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay, sorry.
Your gift is... Yeah, my gift of voice. And you're gonna help lots of people with that gift of voice. So since then I dedicated my life to learning about the drum and learning all these songs and stuff like that. Now that I'm getting older, he said gift of voice. That doesn't mean just singing all the time. What I'm doing now,
and how you're speaking. Oh,
even comedy.
Yeah, okay.
And,
I was like, what the?
And the speaking, like even right now, I'm using my gift of voice to whoever's listening there.
Yeah, I feel very. Actually, I feel calmer in your presence. Like with Ron, I just feel more at ease.
Yeah.
You know? So you do sing?
Yeah, I sing.
I saw you, like you brought the drum thing. Would you?
Yeah, I could sing a song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Todd Genno was going to sing a song.
That'll be quick. So this is just my hand drum. I also have a big drum that I carry at home. But yeah, it kind of like represents the moon if you hold it up. Eh? It's like that moon in the sky.
Oh.
I'll hold it up this way. Wait, just kidding.
When I threw bologna on the window, it looked like the full moon. I could just put that there. So.
No, you ever see that one meme with the oh, it looks like the full moon's out and you put your glasses on and it's a Burger King logo and shining through the trees.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen the bologna float.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean,
So what the drum does, it brings us back to a time when we're in our mother's womb. When we listen to that sound. And this will happen like actually quite often to everybody. If you're walking somewhere and you could hear drumming, our first reaction is to, hey, where's that coming from? And we try to find that where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. And what that is that's our spirit wanting to get close to that, because it wants to go back to a time when we were safe and comfortable and going back to our mother's womb. Because when we were in there, that was like the safest place we could be. Yeah. And so when we hear the drums, because we heard our mother's heartbeat when we were inside, so our spirit kind of remembers that sound.
Wow.
So that's why we use the drum. And so this represents like the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And we call her Mother Earth because she takes care of everything we need to live. She provides it, even down to our clothes, our food, and the air, the water, the fire. And without any of that, we wouldn't be able to exist.
And the grandfather gives us rocks.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll sing a little song.
That's pretty cool. Sing like that.
Yeah. And when we sing like that, it's almost like we're representing that crying when we're born, because everyone cries when they're born. Well,
My
most people
singing
do.
sounds like I'm crying
Yeah,
at any.
and that's what the elders tell us. We all sang a song when we were born, and that's that first cry. Eh? Yeah. So I get to spend a lot of time with elders and especially grandmothers. They're so knowledgeable, and
Elders, are you? When are you an elder?
that's funny because there's some self-proclaimed elders, and then some just I guess just because they're old they think they're an elder. But I asked
Yeah.
I asked a friend one time. I was like, "Well, what did we have back in the day?" And we never had the term elders before, but that's kind of like a new thing in the last 20 years. People have been throwing around is the term elder. So I asked my friend what he called it because he grew up in the bush. He said we called them aki wanze, which really translates to somebody that just knows a lot about the land. And I said, well, what was the age kind of thing? He says there was no age. As long as you had that knowledge and if you knew stuff, you were kind of put in that category.
You could be a 20-year-old elder,
Yeah.
like an old soul.
Yeah.
Right?
And even kids could be elders. They teach us stuff all the time. I'm so grateful for my kids because they taught me so much. One thing about having my kids is I had twins. They're 12 years old now, a boy and a girl. And I have two older ones. And when me and my ex had these kids together, because we both kind of had rough childhoods, and we almost got to live our childhoods through our kids.
Really?
Yeah, like we.
Sorry, how you met your wife is actually very.
Oh, yeah.
How you met? Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's another episode.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, I mean. 'Cause
I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Just in case she's watching, you never know.
No.
Just
Why
kidding.
did you lie?
No.
Wait. High school. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No. It's alright.
Yeah, so
Now I might as well go there.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You twisted my arm.
Yeah.
But I had this friend back in during the powwows when we were young. His name was Ben, and so when I went to college, Ben went to college too, and he introduced me to this woman. He says, "Todd, I want you to meet my sister," and he told her, "This is the best man I know," and then 2 days later he passed away.
And that's how you met your wife.
And that's how I met my ex-wife.
See,
yeah.
you have these things that are just so profound. Like that's like a punch.
I know. And then me and her became good friends for a few years. And then I don't know, all of a sudden twins came along.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Then we became friends and then twins.
Yeah. Just happened.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, so my twins are 12 and like I said, we got to kind of relive our childhood through our kids. Like when they were small, we ran into some money, and we're like, that's when the Thunder Bay flooded. So insurance gave us a huge check back in 2012.
Oh yeah.
Our insurance gave us a good check, and then so we're like, fuck it, let's go to Disney. We took the kids to Disney, not for the kids, but for us. So we used our kids as an excuse because it would look weird to old people running around Disney with no kids. But I guess we went down there and we see like people like celebrating 50th anniversaries together at Disney, so it wasn't too bad.
With me, it would just be like that. There's all the kids.
Yeah, yeah, and we went in February, so it wasn't actually not too busy, but it was still busy though. I can't imagine going at like March break or Christmas or
very, very people
or in the summer. And it was so beautiful down there in February because it was like our late summer here, like the temperature we could still swim outside and. But it still wasn't like roasting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We stayed at the Animal Kingdom where you got giraffes walking by your hotel windows and stuff. Yeah, we kind of went all out with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you gave your kids, because you didn't do a lot of Disney trips in foster care.
Yeah, exactly. I remember getting put on respite when my families would go on family vacations, so I'd have to go like to another home till they got back.
Oh.
Yeah.
For respite.
Yeah, respite.
Oh, gotcha. Shoot. Oh. Is there anything that, because because we didn't have any preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Kind of coming into this, we didn't prep. There was none of that.
We were supposed to all day yesterday, but
I meant to write down some questions.
Me too. I was supposed to do some research on some stuff. It just never happened.
Was there anything you were thinking that I was going to ask, or that you thought maybe of?
I don't know.
Talking about. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's how I, using like my culture and my ceremonies, I guess, is how I found peace with all my childhood stuff. And oh yeah, you told me not to touch the curtain.
No, it was like I should have had hairspray. It's like this is like
Don't
it's not
touch
a
the
green
curtain.
screen. This is backed up into it. It's just a wall behind it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I found my, I guess, healing in a lot of stuff. And I still struggle with a lot of stuff, but I have tools now that I can use to help me.
What do you do when you find that you're very, very anxious or very?
I love going out in the bush. That's
Okay.
my thing. And just going to be out on the land, sit with the land. And a lot of times it's just about being grateful for everything. I know like this summer I was like, stupid me, I traded in my truck for a Kia. I'm like, now I miss my
That's
truck so much.
hilarious.
I miss my truck so much. I'm like, but I don't know why I did that, spur of the moment.
And then you take your Kia out to the bush to relieve some stress, like
and then I get a flat tire. Or I get a flat. I did. I got a flat tire. I'm like, well, good thing I got tire warranty.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So I didn't pay nothing. Thank you, Holland.
Well, you'll get your truck. There's a little plug for Kia right now.
Yeah.
Go see Chris Holland.
Yeah. So like even up to like a few weeks ago, I was really still depressed about that. Not like I'm gonna go jump off a cliff depressed, but I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? And I wanted to go buy a house, and I wanted a truck, and all this.
It sounds almost like midlife crisis-y.
Yeah.
Almost like.
And then Ron actually invited me over for dinner on Thanksgiving.
Is Ron
I don't even know
here
if
right
Ron's
now?
on.
Ron, are you here?
You can't even see the comments anyway. Look at we're so small in there.
Okay,
But yeah,
sorry.
Ron invited me over for Thanksgiving like 2 hours before. He says, hey, I'm having dinner. You want to come? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Because I already had dinner planned somewhere else too, like, 2 hours after. So I got 2 dinners that day, which was nice. And
that's good for anxiety food.
yeah. But while I was there, this guy knocked on the door. And he was homeless. And he was just asking for a few bucks to go sit in the coffee shop. Because it was really raining that day. And Ron brought him inside. And he sat him at the table and he fed him, and he took off his clothes and dried them for him, and gave him boots and a new raincoat, and he packed up extra food for him to take, and then this man, he was so grateful for that, just to sit at a table somewhere and eat a warm turkey dinner, and he was talking about
and be treated like
yeah, and he was talking about his bed at the shelter house, how it has springs sticking up and poking him, and how you got to hold on to your stuff or somebody will rob you, and how he has to walk in the rain everywhere, like no matter what the weather is, and I left there like my eyes open. I'm like, here I am complaining about I don't have a truck, I don't have a house, and I actually, when I left Ron's house that day, I had to tell myself, Todd, shut the fuck up. You have a lot.
Yeah.
I have an apartment. I live in an apartment, and I have a nice warm bed. I don't have to sleep with my eyes open, and I have a vehicle. Might not be a good bush vehicle, but I have a vehicle that gets me from point A to point B.
Your kids, and it's safe. So.
Exactly. So sometimes when I'm having a hard time, it's like something throws something at me to make me go.
Well, it's funny because you just look at the fundamentals, right? Like,
yeah.
Am I warm? Am I dry?
Yeah.
Am I safe? Then I'm okay.
And I can eat whenever the hell I want. Like, I'm not filthy rich, but I can go eat anytime I want.
Yeah, you don't.
I
can buy whatever I want.
I'm not starving. And
I can put anything I want into the grocery cart.
Yeah.
There is nobody monitoring this. If you want to go buy just ice cream.
Yeah. I don't have to go look for the no-name brand.
Yeah.
Well, even though nothing wrong with no-name brand.
Which is okay too.
It's still good.
Yeah, it's just different points in my life where I'm looking at every, or just when I'm like, oh, I want all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just what happens sometimes. And I love being out in the bush. That's one of my most uh, favorite things to do, especially when I'm struggling, because everything's so alive. Like for some people, it just might be trees and rocks and stuff. But when you're connected to the land and you feel that connection, everything's alive and everything's there to help you, and everything has a spirit, and they're there for you. That's what I believe in our.
Well, I'm listening because you're like one of, other than also Ron. I don't mean other than Ron. You are like, it's so centered. It's so grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just nice to be out in the bush. I'm a hunter, but I don't shoot everything I see out there, like because
everything there's a tree.
That's so
Blam.
beautiful. Boom. I get one moose a year, and that's it.
You get your moose this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all gone already. Gave it all away. So if anybody has any leftover moose meat,
same. Still trying to find it. Just trying to see if we got Ron here. I don't see these.
Can't even see any comments.
By the no name. Oh, we've got I have no idea what this looks like. With Lee, we were able to see ourselves. This is just a screen. So
and we're so small on there.
Oh, and we do have
we have TikTok live. Any people on there?
TikTok. We've got a few people here. So I wanted to do. I wanted to thank you as well. I'm gonna wrap it up. We could probably
thank you. And if you're just joining in, remember it's Mickey's birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday!
57. I look amazing. I'm actually gonna turn off the TikTok live, and you know what? Yeah, I'll let you go because I wouldn't be able to. You can't really see the stuff that's going on there. But thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you. That was really great
for coming. That was really great. We had a little bit of a crowd.
Yeah.
And hopefully, to Scott Hobbs, I've kept it quiet enough that the sound could be cleaned up. And thank you so much for
just
singing.
Hear my heavy breathing.
That was, or the squeaking of the chair. Or the dog crying.
And even if Scott's watching, he's like, oh, they got a mic. That's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's not. I couldn't even set it up. We're actually just using the audio for the... Anyway.
I just gave away your secret.
It's just a prop.
It's just a prop.
We're like, I can't hear the drum a little bit better.
Look at happy birthday, Mickey, somebody said.
Oh, I'm going to have to... I'll go through and I went and I sifted through everybody's comments today.
No, yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys very much. Thank you TikTok, and this will be a finished product sometime in the next couple of weeks on Over the Edge.
All
Thanks so much,
awesome.
guys.
Thank you.